Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
I'm Fritz.
And we're here to give you this week's reading recommendations on New Comic Book Day. Yeah, very cool. We had a number of number ones, including one that we have been saying was going to end up here, and it did not disappoint.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll save that for later, because right now we've got a returning favorite.
Yeah. So my pick this week is Feral issue 11, and it might not be number one, but it is the start of a new story arc.
It's two number ones.
Oh. Sometimes you can really tell you're a dad.
Yeah. They give you a pamphlet.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, start of a new story arc, kind of picking up where the last one left off of. We're out of the crazy cat lady's house, which sounds like it should be a good thing. Not so much when your way out is a car crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
out of the pan and into the fire.
That's basically this issue in a nutshell. Is every time you think like, okay, things can't get worse. Oh God, they got worse.
Yeah,
and like it just like keeps like happening. And so yeah, our cast spends most of this issue. They're stuck in a car. There's a bunch of the like feral animals are like coming to check it out because like car crash is going to attract a lot of attention, and they're trying to figure, okay, do we get out of here? What do we do if we get out of here? Who's hurt? Who isn't? Like it's just like this. There's almost never a moment to breathe, and they actually get like a little because they're like trapped in the car trying to like figure out like, okay, what now? Because it's like you don't know what to do because every option seems like, well, even if we do this, this could go wrong, like, and then before they even get a chance to act, like something else happened. It's just this like constant whirlwind of just like madness, and then like, oh, who's this that's showing up? Like there's like other characters showing up that are like complicating matters, and then like the way it'll culminates at the end, like you think like things are about to get as bad as they could, and then something happens. You're like, oh, okay, maybe things aren't as bad as they appear, which in a horror thing should always be your indication that things are actually going
wait
so much
a red flag.
Yeah, no, it's like, but like it's a very interesting red flag because like up till now it's been kind of just like nothing but constant horror, but there's like the first actual sign of like, oh, something might actually kind of work out for them. So it's a matter of like, okay, how far do we go before that other shoe drops? And even besides that, there's starting to be kind of an implication of like, because all the feral creatures we met so far, like they just kind of turn into like mindless like killing machines.
Yeah, mindless rabid monsters.
Yeah, and there's some stuff that happens in here that's like, maybe that's not exactly the case. Like, there's a little hint of like, maybe there's like, some creatures might be able to like retain some part of themselves.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's
I just got a flashback to the governor's daughter in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, like and that's the thing. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not like super versed on The Walking Dead, so I'm curious to like hear the opinions of people who are more versed in that. Like, what kind of like parallels you might see with some of the stuff in this series with that, because like I mean, again, like this is effectively a zombie apocalypse book. It's just with rabies and animals. Yeah, but it continues. I love the way that Tony Fleece is able to like pace this book out, where like there's just this like constant sense of like movement and adrenaline. Like you really like feel like the anxiety and dread that these animals are feeling, and again the art. Just the beautiful juxtaposition of just like cute cuddly animals and just like horrifying like monster is just it's one of those things that like could easily not work. It's similar to like Beneath the Trees, where you got basically like what feels like, what if Richard Scarry had serial killers in it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's like it could easily just be like fall flat, not work at all. But these guys, they are able to like accomplish it no problem. How
great would it be to see an adaptation of this in like Don Bluth style?
If you can find it out there, they're funny if you say that. There's I believe it's a German film called Felidae that is basically what if like a kind of like Don Bluth animation style, but like also horrible like violence involving like pets. Like it's
good God.
No, it's not for the faint of heart. I'll say that. Like there's it's just funny they say. I'm just like, well, technically the thing like that exists. And yeah, no, it's exactly as scarring as you think it would be.
Yeah, well, most of the gore and whatever could be like Secret of Nim or something where it's all off camera.
Yeah.
Your mind just kind of fills in the blanks. But it would be really interesting. I think that the style kind of would.
No,
fit.
yeah, I can actually like absolutely see like if this book like did get like on the anime treatment, like just like I can see like the camera angles and like the coloring that you would see in a Don Bluth film like working like beautifully with this.
Because I would not want to see it in like realistic 3D animation. I wouldn't want that.
No, yeah.
That would take some of the charm out of it.
And like and that's the thing, like as much of this book like does involve like horrifying things happening to cute cuddly creatures, like it's not like in a way where it's like really trying to like shove it in your face. It's very akin to like how like a good like zombie movie should like use the violence to like enhance like this sense of like, oh, you care about these characters.
Right,
It's not just like gore for the sake of gore. It's about like emphasizing like the actual like scale and enormity of
you have a vested stake in the individuals that are partaking in the story, and so when they're put in harm's way, it elevates the drama of the story. Tony Fleeks is coming to do something at Marvel. He's coming to do something at one of the two big. I was just trying to think of what it was.
I feel like I saw something about that recently, and I don't remember what it was.
I can't remember which it is. But all right, if you remember, leave it in the comments for us.
But
and we'll see it in a couple days.
But yeah, great issue. Continue to really enjoy the series. Fun start to the new arc. I'm super excited to see what happens. But as much as a new arc is fun, sometimes you want a new number one, and you've got that.
Yes, well, so it has been a while since we've had a new series from Matthew Rosenberg, if I'm remembering correctly. But this is We're Taking Everyone Down With Us, number one.
He does love his long titles.
He does love his long titles, yeah. So, man, what was it, like 6 or 7 years ago? That we were just talking about it, and now I'm forgetting the title.
I know. Yeah, it feels so dumb now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I don't know why we can't think of it, but it's one of our best-selling indie books. He's one of those writers who he keeps the story interesting, so people stick with it. Like especially indie books, people have a tendency to drop. And I think that some of that is because, with superhero books, they develop this kind of relationship with a character. And even if the story's kind of mediocre at that time, they stick with it because they don't want to have to go back and pick it up again if it gets a new volume that's good.
Or if you do like drop the book, you can always like come back in another time. Yeah. Like, these characters. They're like, there's always like a pretty easy like adjustment period.
Right. Yeah. So Spider-Man, Batman, Hulk, Wonder Woman, they're just going to have a following that just kind of sticks with them through anything. Whereas the indie books, even some of the greats, experience quite a bit of a drop off around issue 4, 5, 6, and then again somewhere around 12, 13. You get through that first couple volumes. But this premise here that we're starting with is interesting, and it feels a little slow at the beginning, and then we kind of hit another gear towards the end to set up the premise. But you don't really get a glimpse of the world. You just get it from the point of view of this scientist, who also calls himself the Vitruvian, and his daughter, and they're living in this isolated place with a scientist helper, and the scientist, the father, is telling his daughter, like, I have to do my work because the future of the world depends on it. Society is collapsing around us, and da-da-da-da-da. And then you find out that there's this secret agency, basically, is kind of the way that they set it up, that's out to stop him.
Okay.
Now, the question as you're watching this, because there are some acts of questionable morals that happen, right? And the guy's kind of abrasive anyway, but you're not sure, like, is that just his intellect? Is that the stress of the situation that he's genuinely in? Or is it that he's a bad dude? So that's what you're kind of trying to figure out. And and his daughter's just trying to be fun. You do find out a little bit of her backstory and the family dynamic, and it just puts in place kind of all the tension that's between her, and she appears to be, I don't know, 10 or 12 years old, something like that, probably 12-ish. And yeah, it's interesting. It's funny because he's got these helper robots that actually remind them, visually, they kind of look like Helper from the Venture Brothers. So at the beginning of it, playing hide and go seek with the robots. So you can see that her childhood is very strange, and, robots with AI that can play hide and go seek with a girl while presumably protecting her wherever they are at. Implies an advanced technology, but you know how comic books are. They play fast and loose with that kind of stuff. So it could be happening in the here and now. It could be a post-apocalyptic future. It could be a totally different world altogether. I'm not entirely sure. But I really enjoy the art. And Landini.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with their stuff, but it's really good.
But it looks really familiar. It I don't know, it's got kind of a DC vibe to it, you know what I mean? So I'll have to look and see if they've done anything else. They also kind of imply that maybe there was a persona point in time for this Vitruvian. So kind of has me thinking maybe he's a supervillain in hiding. Although the secret agent or the agent or whatever that you get introduced to does not seem like a good dude either. So it's kind of one of those gray area books, and it's going to be fun to see. You know, I like it when they start with a lot of mystery. They're not spoon feeding you everything right off the bat. But yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I think I can think of about 10 to 20 of our customers off the top of my head that would find this really entertaining. So if you're looking for a break from the superhero stuff, we've got a couple of them up here right now. Feral, you can certainly get the first graphic novel of, and we're just getting started on this new Matthew Rosenberg book, so that's a good one. And we picked up lots of copies because What's the Furthest Place from Here?
That's it.
Is such a good seller for us that if you're enjoying that book, I think you'll enjoy this one too. So, all right, now that my brain has unlocked at least slightly, the caffeine must have started kicking in.
I was going to say.
Yes, now our consensus pick of the day.
As a shock to no one who's been watching this, Absolute Martian Manhunter. I knew I was going to. It's again one of those books where I knew I was going to love it, and then I actually sit down to read it. And God, it's so good. Like three of my favorite things in comics right now are Dennis Camp, Javier Rodriguez, and Martian Manhunter. So putting those all three together and like mixing it all up is just
fantastic. So I'm going to say Javi. I'm sure we're going to be fast friends someday.
I'm sure, yes,
and that will be allowed. But so Rodriguez's art just fits this weird vibe that they're going for. It's this kind of great mix between like 50s thriller posters, like Alfred Hitchcock-y kind of stuff, you know. In fact, there's a scene in there where, it's kind of that, or early 60s television, like The Prisoner or something like that, like promos for that kind of stuff. The color palette is just absolutely amazing, and they lean so heavily into that as part of the story. It's just great.
Like there's little like bits where you can just kind of look and be like, oh, you can like see these kind of like colors like in like just a random like object, and just the way they do it, because like Rodriguez like also does the colors himself too is one of the cool parts.
The lighter, the fingernails, the interactions with other people, like everything gets this kind of weird lava lampy, flowy kind of vibe to it.
It's super surreal. Like it's like the way that the real and like what maybe like might be real, like kind of mishmashed together on the panel is just super.
Which is great
so
because
cool.
that kind of is the vibe that you need for where the story appears to be going, right? You're not quite sure what's real, what's not real. What are the boundaries between, this and that, or they and them, like it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
So the the question that I had was because Rodriguez did the art on the Zatanna. What was the
Bring Down the House?
Bring Down the House. Yes, and we talked about how that fit magic so well, but how does it fit science fiction? Maybe better.
It's so good. Like the way that it kind of like how the whole like Martian Manhunter name even starts to like integrate itself into like the book, like how like why it becomes associated with what's happening is such a like cool way to do it.
Yeah.
It just, and one of the things, obviously like Camp's writing and Rodriguez's art are amazing. I really just want to give a shout out. Let me check who the letterer.
Oh yeah, I did look at that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Hassan Otsmane. I'm going to mispronounce the last part of this. Elhau.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like their lettering on this book is so good. Like the different font styles for when people are talking to each other versus whispering versus like the thoughts. Like it's so well done and just kind of like immediately gives you this like different sense of voice between different characters.
Yeah. And because of the like I don't know, period, tone.
Yeah.
You're not sure exactly when this is taking place in relation to the other Absolute books. We haven't tied in that tightly yet. So it could be happening at the same time as them. It could be happening prior to them.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting how they've again taken the core character and tweaked some of the details around them enough to make it different and a fresh take. So
so I guess we should say, so like the plot of this series is that like we've got FBI agent John Jones has experienced like an accident. As the book goes on, you kind of get a better idea of like what that was, and in the aftermath of that, he's starting to experience these like weird sensations. Like he's like somehow able to like kind of like know what people are thinking or feeling more than like he normally does. Like,
but he's not sure if he actually is.
Yeah, like he's got this like he's not sure if something's wrong with him, if he's just like traumatized at first, and like all that is just on top of his already kind of like life that's had like his kind of like ups and downs in the department with his family. And
at the same time, he's completely emotionally detached throughout this book. He just wants to get back to work, and all the people around him are very, very worried about him. And while he's kind of going through the motions, it seems like he's not feeling much.
No, and it's hard to say like how much of that like, because it seems like some of that was already kind of thing before this, but then like also like how much of that is just like him responding to like the trauma of the incident and just like how the other characters are going to then respond to that around him. Well,
and so we get a glimpse into his family life, and his wife seems kind of like a typical average everyday person off the street. His son appears to be nonverbal. And maybe has some insight into what's happening.
There's some interesting things going on there, and the way that they kind of like. Again, Rodriguez's art, just the smoke motif throughout the whole book. Like the way that starts and like builds, the way he's able to capture these like the human expression is so well done.
I'm telling you, if I was a director, I would have Javier Rodriguez do the movie poster. It would be amazing. And movie posters now stink. They're all just terrible.
They suck.
They're brutal.
No, like it's always the joke now, and like. A good example is like any Marvel movie when the poster comes out, it's just like, okay, how awkwardly are all the cast like photoshopped together?
Right, yeah.
It's exactly, like there's no, it's not like an old Star Wars poster by like Drew Strutson, I think.
Yeah.
Like they're like
or even Jaws. Remember the great movie poster for Jaws? It's just the shark and the leg. It's so good.
It's like. Turns out when you have like an actual artist just like make something, it's infinitely better than just like trying to cobble some random stuff together.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was a really great week for picks. That would kind of lead people to believe that maybe there was a lot of stuff to choose from because the cream of the crop was so good here. What else did you enjoy? What almost made the table?
So unsurprisingly, the other Absolute book this week, Wonder Woman,
so good,
was also really good. The Ultimate books this week with Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Wolverine were really good. Honestly, this is probably my favorite issue of Ultimate Wolverine so far.
I haven't read it yet. I got to read it.
It's really
so many books this week.
It's really kind of like starting to flesh out the world a bit more, and like Logan as a character, you kind of get a little more insight into him. So those were both. And like, I mean, Spider-Man is Spider-Man. We were talking about before. There's a thing in there where just like, you did that, and she's like, no. The thing I did is much worse.
That was so good. It's fun to see Ben and J. Jonah interacting with Kingpin in this book while I'm watching Daredevil.
Yeah.
And Kingpin being very much the same kind of.
It was your Daredevil.
Yeah. The same kind of manipulator where he just uses brute force when nobody's expecting it. You know? And it's indirect, Indirect
like
it's almost the scariest kind. It's like, oh, you're going to have me beat up and killed? Okay, well, I can deal with that. No. That would be all too easy. That was, and I love how Hickman set that whole thing up, because now you're not sure, was that a bluff? Is he just trying to get them to question themselves?
Yeah.
Is he being, forthcoming in actually saying that and knowing that they're going to question? It's one of those things where you just spin it around and around and around, and that's exactly what he wants. He wants Jonah and Uncle Ben to just not know. Yeah, so good. Yeah, so many good books this week. Let's see. Those were both good. And then what was the other one that I was telling you that I read? Oh, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Fantastic Four was really good.
Yeah, so it spins directly out of One World Under Doom #2, and it's kind of the fallout of that for a particular character in his family unit. So this one focuses on Ben, and who would Ben Grimm be if not the Thing? And I really liked how they set it up. I thought that it was really good, and North has been great on that book. It's been very, very consistent. So,
that reminds me. I believe it's either June or July. They just announced this, but they are, because Marvel loves doing this. They are doing a soft relaunch for the book. It's getting a new #1. North is staying on as writer.
Good.
But yeah, they're doing like a whole new arc coming out of like the One World Under Doom stuff. So
so it must be around issue 24-ish.
We're past that.
Are we? What are we on?
We're almost into 30, I think.
Holy crud! He has been on this book for a very long.
Did we sell out?
Oh, we did. We had so many people. I forgot. We've got variants.
We've got variants.
We had so many people at it, presumably because of the One World Under Doom. And they added it late, so we actually had just enough to fill subscriptions this week. But good. I'm hoping that those people will stick with it.
Yeah. But also, hey, even if you can't catch that, Ryan North is also writing the start of the Godzilla crossover one-shots.
Yes.
And Godzilla vs. Fantastic Four by Ryan North and John Romita Jr.
Yeah, very cool. And tons of very, very cool variant covers for that one. We also have a whole bunch of the Peach Momoko covers this week. That's continuing, so I know that we've got a number of people who have been trying to collect all of those. And then the Marvel versus Capcom ones are going to be coming out. There's another wave of them coming out in 3 weeks. I think. So all kinds of good stuff. Okay, so other good stuff. We've got Free Comic Book Day coming up May 3rd. So that'll be at our new location, presumably, if we don't have any terrible setbacks in getting that space ready. But everything is a go. As we sit right now. So Free Comic Book Day, it's just like it sounds. If you've never been to a Free Comic Book Day, it is the biggest day of the year in a comic shop, and Pulp is no exception. We will have thousands of free comic books to hand out. And there's something for everybody, from young readers all the way up to mature readers.
And you'd be surprised how quickly they go.
I mean, so every year for the past 3 or 4 years, we have considerably upped the number of books that we're getting. just to make sure that we've got enough to make it through the weekend, because we'd like it to go all day Saturday and then Sunday for anybody who's not able to make it in on Saturday. But stay tuned for more more information on that. But we open at 11 o'clock on Saturdays, so be ready at 11 a.m. if you can be here on May 3rd at our new address, 731 South Front Street, which then leads me into we're moving. So in about 5-ish weeks, we're hoping to be open in our new location at 731 South Front Street. So it's just one block exactly and south of here, so towards the Quick Trip, away from Poly Eyes and the bar area and everything. We're very, very excited. We've been measuring out the space and all of our fixtures and everything. And we're really excited to have all the comic books located in the same space, with the graphic novels and the manga and the action figures. So all the back issues, the dollar books, all that stuff should be all in one place. And then we're also going to have dedicated gaming space, which that'll have your D&D and your magic supplies and your high-end cards in the case, all of that stuff over on the other side. And that game space is going to be modular, so that we can open it up to expand for very large events like Friday Night Magic, or close it down to be able to do multiple small events like D&D campaigns at the same time. So it's going to be great. We're really, really excited. So that should be by the beginning of May we will be open over there. What else? Am I forgetting anything else?
There's like part of me that feels like we are, but at the same time, it's just one of those things where there's so much happening right now that like it's hard to keep track of.
Gosh. Yesterday was just a blur. There were so many logistics that we're coming down into crunch time on the closing, and of course everybody's got like one last thing. Either we're waiting for this from that person, or somebody throws me something that I need this last bit of information for you before we can move ahead. It was just bonkers, and then it was a massive comic book release week on top of it.
Just the variant parts alone is wild.
Man, I was doing the pull and hold until 6:30 last night. I think it was crazy. But fun. I mean, it's that kind of hectic, crazy energy, but it's all going in such a positive direction that you have a hard time not being enthusiastic about it. So, we're really excited. So, and we owe it all to our great staff and our great customers who are making all of this possible. So. It's just been awesome to see this kind of vision that we had 10 years ago when we started in this, and you've been along for the majority of that.
Oh God, I have.
You have. Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. It's like, I guess I have been here.
You have. And it's been a wild ride, and it's going to be a lot more fun in the next 10 years. So, all right. Well, we will be back next week with more Pulp Picks. But in the meantime, we need you to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share on the video. And it's just great to tell good stories. We were talking with one of our new additions to the staff yesterday about how everything in here shares one common feature, and it's all about story. So there is classic storytelling happening in every avenue of our store, and it's really a connective tissue. And then that storytelling allows us to create community, and we're excited to host that community in a larger, more appropriate space for it. So we'll be back next week. Until then, enjoy the reading.
Okay.
And just, spent a good chunk of time with my head down, putting crap in boxes yesterday, and then reading this morning. And
yep, I get you.
So, old man neck. That would have been creepy if I would have just gone right off.
I was really fighting the urge not to. I'll wait till you're done drinking, just stay on the safe side. But I was really fighting the urge to make a boss Nance joke from. You think you know better than the Gungans? Me like.
Yeah.
That's the post-credit scene now, isn't it? Me just doing a bad boss.
We'll see.
God, it'd be nice to meet Brian Bliss. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Yeah.